If you own properties in markets like mine in north central Pennsylvania, you know that the water and sewer authorities are leinable expenses, which makes many landlords hesitant to have tenants pay it on their own. But I'm going to show you a simple, easy way that you don't need to bear that utility risk anymore. Thanks for coming to me for advice. I'm Jennifer Rowlands, real estate investment educator, advocate, and broker at One Focus Property Management. So this problem about lienable utilities, typically water and sewer, there's a lot of places in our country that the authorities that provide that service to the households hold the property owner liable for all of the use at that property. Some of these authorities will mail a copy of the bill to the tenant and things like that. But in many cases, whether the tenant pays or not is not the water or sewer authority's concern. They will always come back to you, the property owner. And in cases like that, where landlords have said, well, tenant, this unit is individually metered. There is a water and sewer account, and I want you to be responsible for it. What they fear and what they've heard is that tenants can run that bill up and then not pay it and leave the property and leave the landlord with a large debt to the water or sewer authority. And that's the problem that they find. And so what I found is that the conventional wisdom, at least here in north central Pennsylvania, has been to just simply include water and sewer in the rent as an easy way of managing this risk. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this at all. It is my belief that when the unit is individually metered, when an accurate bill can be presented for the actual usage by that tenant, all of the use of that water is under their exclusive use and control, then it is appropriate for them to be responsible for that expense. The reason being, they should be responsible for the amount of that utility they're using. It's not under your control how much water they use in that property or if they don't report leaks or things like this. So we want to put some responsibility on the tenant to alert us to maintenance needs and to be properly conserving of the utility. So how do we do that? If the authority won't send the bills to the tenant or won't hold the tenant accountable, what do we do? Well, at One Focus Property Management, we've come up with a pretty simple process. When we receive a utility bill for a property that the tenant is responsible for paying, we will issue a payment on the owner's behalf with the owner's funds to pay that. That makes sure that the account is in good standing, the owner doesn't get any late fees, etc. Then we'll turn around and invoice the tenant. Hey tenant, your bill has arrived. It's been paid on your behalf. Please reimburse us within 2 weeks. And so we might have sent a $50 check for a $50 invoice. We'll present an invoice for exactly $50. There's no markups or admin fees. And that tenant is expected to then reimburse the owner via us for that expense. So there's an administrative task here that a lot of people don't like, but managing that is so much better than incurring the risk of that utility and the expense being unforeseen. Additionally beneficial is the ability to have insight into those bills. More often than not, we're finding water leaks on the bills before the tenants are reporting them. So when we receive a bill for unusual usage, we can immediately throw up a red flag and send maintenance to the property to address this as a way to save the tenant money as soon as possible. We also might go out there for overage of use and find that there is no leak. That might indicate, not necessarily, that something's going on at the property that shouldn't be. Are they running a business of some kind? Are more people living there than should be? All of those things could be happening. I'll tell you one amusing anecdote that I've seen to be really common is that when a family has a new baby, their water bill will go through the roof. New babies just take so much water. We don't think about it, but a lot of people are visiting. You're cleaning more than ever, and you're doing a lot of laundry. And so that's why new babies make you have to have so sometimes we'll get those high bills and make a visit to a home and find a new baby and realize, oh, we don't have a leak. We just have a new addition to the family. Well, that is how we handle this water sewer question. I want to hear, how do you handle it? What questions do you have? What obstacles have you found? Do you find something wrong with the advice I gave here today? Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Follow for more.